Hi friends, welcome to my channel Alchemy of Thought, and I'm your host Dr. Manohar Rao, where we try to simplify science to layman and focus on telling science through stories. Today, I want you to take you on a journey, my own journey. In fact, from being a science graduate to a researcher to a global product leader. And at the heart of it all lies one deceptively simple question: what is measurement? Now, let me take you back to February 2004 to my master's final research project submission at the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Picture this: I am standing in front of examiners explaining a project that beautifully blended optics, electronics, and 8085 microprocessor programming. The idea was to study optical fringes from diffraction and use microprocessor to calculate the object dimensions. Pretty neat and simple, right? Just when I had impressed them with my innovation, my advisor, late Professor KBR Prasad, leaned back and dropped a bomb. So, Manohar, what is measurement? I'll be honest, I froze. My mind scrambled through the pages of Malvino's Principle of Electronics. I rattled off textbook jargon, hoping it sounded convincing enough to the panel of examiners. Thankfully, it got me to the defense and my graduation. But that question lingered, echoing in my mind long after. Years later, I realized that question wasn't about theory, it was about clarity and perspective. After masters, I cracked the GATE exam with a all India rank of 113 and suddenly found myself with choices at being selected at IIT Chennai, IIT Mumbai, IIT Delhi, Indian Institute of Science, and even JNCSR Bangalore. Each institute was a temple of science in its own right. Confused on which to choose, I turned to the guidance of my spiritual master, Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And just around the same time, even the Nobel Prize for conducting polymers had just been awarded. And this both decision tipped the scale. So I ended up joining Professor K.S. Narayan's Molecular Electronics Lab at JNCSR to pursue my PhD in the field of organic semiconductors. Fast forward by 2010 to Singapore at the Nanyang Technological University at Arian under the guidance of Professor Subodh Maisalkar. Here, I was part of a dream team, collaborating with scientists from Cambridge, UK, Jerusalem, Israel, IMRE, and Simtech from Singapore, working to build an all solution printed display product. In fact, a product way ahead of its time then. And during this phase, one of my career highlight was meeting Professor J. Allen Heger the second time, the Nobel laureate who had pioneered organic electronics. And as I spoke to him, I couldn't help but wonder, when he made his discovery decades ago, did he even ever imagine how organic electronics would grow into an entire new industry? Then came my time as an application scientist with Bruker JPK Bio AFM company. Imagine traveling across Asia and the Middle East, all the way from Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Iran, and Jordan, helping labs explore nanostructures in biology, chemistry, and yes, even alloys that were used in then Pakistan's nuclear facility. It was here that the Feynman's famous word rang true for me. There is plenty of room at the bottom. And now, since 2015, at PerkinElmer, my mission has shifted from pure research to impact. Working on water quality testing, microplastic detection, food adulteration, drug efficacy, and even supporting India's space mission, my role has been about enabling scientists to tackle some of the humanity's greatest challenge. And let me tell you, there's nothing more fulfilling than watching science move from a lab bench to changing real lives. Looking back now, I realize that my advisor's Professor KBR Prasad question wasn't meant to test my knowledge. It was it was meant to shape my perspective. So, after working with scientists and researchers, business leaders across the globe, be it in academia, industry, and humanitarian fields, I can finally answer with confidence and simplicity. Measurement is just a way to translate an observable event into a quantifiable number. And that's the essence of science, isn't it? Turning wonders that we see around us into numbers, and numbers into knowledge, and knowledge into impact. So, this is Dr. Manohar Rao signing out from your channel Alchemy of Thought. And until next time, remember, behind every numbers lies a story waiting to be told.